Imagine this. You're standing outside the gleaming glass towers of the world's most exclusive private summit, the kind of place where billionaires and power brokers sip champagne and decide the future of industries. Security guards in crisp suits eye you like you're an intruder. Only the elite belong here, they sneer, their voices dripping with disdain. Your palms sweat, your heart pounds. But then, the sky fills with the thunderous beat of rotor blades. A sleek black helicopter descends, wind whipping your hair, and every jaw in the crowd drops as you step out, not as the outsider they mocked, but as the one who now owns the moment. That, my friends, was the day everything changed for me. If you're watching this right now, feeling stuck, overlooked, or told you're not enough, this story is for you. Stick with me till the end because the twists, the tears, and the triumphs might light a fire in your soul. And if it moves you even a little, do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support keeps stories like this alive, and who knows, maybe your own helicopter moment is closer than you think. Let's dive in. My name is Marcus Kane, and I grew up in a faded trailer park on the outskirts of a Rust Belt town that the world had long forgotten. Mom worked double shifts at the diner, her hands cracked and raw from endless plates of eggs and coffee. Dad, he left when I was 7, chasing some dream that never caught up to him. We weren't poor in the dramatic movie way, we were the quiet kind of struggling, where every birthday meant choosing between new shoes or a cake, and dreams felt like luxuries we couldn't afford. But even then, I had this fire. At night, under the hum of flickering fluorescent lights, I'd pore over old library books about business titans, inventors, and visionaries. I built my first company at 12, selling handmade birdhouses from scrap wood I scavenged. Kids at school laughed, neighbors whispered that boys like me didn't chase big ideas, we fixed cars or punched clocks. Stay in your lane, Marcus, they'd say. But something inside me refused to listen. High school was a battlefield of quiet humiliations. I was the kid with the patched backpack, the one who couldn't afford the latest sneakers or join the fancy STEM club trips. Teachers saw potential but shrugged. Resources went to the promising kids from good families. My first real heartbreak came at 17. I fell hard for Elena, the bright-eyed daughter of a local factory owner. We bonded over late-night talks about escaping our small town, about building something that mattered. For a while, it felt like magic. Then her father found out. Only the elite belong in our world, he told her coldly after seeing me drop her off in my mom's beat-up sedan. Elena cried, but she chose comfort over chaos. Watching her walk away, I felt something shatter, not just my heart, but the last illusion that the world was fair. That rejection lit a fuse. I worked nights at an auto repair shop, saved every penny, and scraped through community college on scholarships and sheer stubbornness. My big break, or what I thought was one, came when I developed a simple app in my tiny apartment. It optimized supply chains for small manufacturers, something I saw struggling in our town. It wasn't flashy, but it worked. I pitched it at local investor meetups, heart full of hope. Rejection after rejection. Kid, this is interesting, but you're not from our circles, one suited man said, barely looking up from his phone. Only the elite belong here. Venture capitalists in glass offices dismissed me with polite smiles that hid their contempt. I was too rough around the edges, my story too ordinary. One night, after my 12th, I sat on the curb outside a fancy hotel, rain soaking through my only good shirt, and cried like I hadn't since Dad left. Mom found me there hours later. She pulled me into a hug that smelled of coffee and courage. They don't see you yet, baby. But they will. Keep building. Those words kept me going. I refined the app, added AI layers from late-night coding sessions fueled by cheap ramen, and hustled freelance gigs to fund prototypes. Friends drifted away, some jealous, some tired of my unrealistic grind. Loneliness hit hard. There were months where doubt whispered louder than ambition. What if they were right? What if only the elite truly belonged in those rooms? But then I'd remember Alina's father, the investor sneers, the trailer park whispers, and I'd code another hour, pitch another email. The turning point came unexpectedly. A viral tech blog picked up my story after a small manufacturer credited my tool with saving their business from bankruptcy. Suddenly, emails flooded in. One stood out. An invitation to that ultra-exclusive summit, the Global Visionary Summit, held on a private island where deals worth billions were whispered over ocean views. I wasn't invited as a speaker. I was invited as a curiosity, a diversity slot for a feel-good story. The email made it clear: observe and learn. Only the elite truly belong here. I almost didn't go, but Mom's voice echoed. I sold my old truck, maxed a credit card for a decent suit, and flew coach into the unknown. The island was paradise wrapped in exclusivity, yachts bobbing like status symbols, celebrities mingling with CEOs. As I stepped off the ferry, security scanned me like I was smuggling doubt. "This area's for verified elites," one guard muttered. I swallowed the humiliation and found my assigned seat in the back row of the main auditorium. The days blurred with panels where polished speakers discussed disruption from their ivory towers. I listened, learned, but mostly felt invisible. During a networking lunch, a group of venture capitalists laughed openly when I approached. "Nice try, kid from nowhere. Stick to fixing small-town problems." One even patted my shoulder like I was a mascot. The emotional weight crushed me. That night, alone in my modest room, I called Mom. "I don't belong here," I whispered, voice cracking. She reminded me of the birdhouses, the late nights, the refusals that forged me. "You already do, Marcus. Show them." The final day brought the gala. I stood on the periphery, watching helicopters ferry in last-minute VIPs. My app had quietly gained traction back home. 3 major clients signed while I was away, but here, I was still the outsider. Then came the moment that tested everything. During the closing keynote, the moderator announced an impromptu pitch competition for emerging voices. My name wasn't on the list. A smug organizer had overlooked the small-town guy. Rage and despair mixed in my chest. This was it, the ultimate gate. I don't know where the courage came from, but I walked to the stage uninvited. Microphones cut off. Security moved in. Only the elite. The organizer began. But in that second, my phone buzzed. A notification. A major acquisition offer from a tech giant who'd been testing my tool secretly. Millions. Validation. I held up the screen like a shield. The room fell silent. Then, the roar started. Not from the crowd, but from above. Unbeknownst to me, my new partners had arranged a surprise. The helicopter I'd only dreamed of descended onto the helipad visible from the gala terrace. Blades slicing the ocean breeze, it landed with unmistakable authority. I stepped away from the stage, heart hammering, and walked toward it. Every elite face turned. The same men who'd sneered now stared in disbelief. I climbed aboard, the pilot nodding respect. As we lifted off, I looked down at the shrinking island of gatekeepers. Tears streamed down my face, not of sadness, but release. All those years of, "you don't belong," dissolved in the sky. That helicopter wasn't just transport. It was proof. In the months that followed, my company exploded. We scaled the app into a platform that empowered thousands of small businesses worldwide, the very people the elites often ignored. I brought Mom to the new headquarters, watched her touch the marble floors with wonder. Elena reached out once, years later, her voice full of regret, but I had moved on. The real victory wasn't the money or the machines, it was the quiet knowing that belonging isn't granted by others. It's claimed through relentless heart. Challenges didn't vanish overnight. There were betrayals in boardrooms, imposter syndrome that crept in during late nights, and the emotional toll of proving myself daily. But each time, I'd remember the trailer park, the diner shifts, the rain-soaked curb. Those weren't weaknesses, they were the fuel. I mentored kids from similar backgrounds, funded scholarships, and spoke at schools about rewriting the narrative. "They'll tell you only the elite belong," I'd say. "Land your own helicopter." To you watching this, wherever you are, maybe grinding a dead-end job, nursing a broken heart from rejection, or staring at a dream that feels impossible, hear this: your story is your greatest asset. The world loves to build walls and label gates, but persistence, grit, and quiet belief have a way of summoning winds that carry you over them. Don't wait for permission. Build, fall, rise. The elite aren't born. They're forged in the fire of those who refuse to stay small. If Marcus Kane's journey from trailer park to helicopter skies taught me anything, it's that your moment is coming. The roar of your own blades is closer than the noise of doubters. Thank you for watching till the end. This story came from the heart, and if it touched yours, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Drop your own helicopter moment stories in the comments. I read them all. Together, we're proving that everyone belongs where their courage takes them. See you in the next one. Keep soaring.